Yo guys, good morning, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in my life, as well as a self-improvement process for us to reach the heights, goals, and ambitions that we've set for ourselves. And so if you like an introduction, brief breakdown, and summary into how we break down the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and so on and so forth, including the copyright-free music and the live streaming schedule. You can find it all in the previous 3 years straight up to January 2021. It's all there, all that jazz. So let's just dive into the second phase of the live stream. 14 minutes long. Okay, table of contents right now. We're just gonna break it down maybe into 8 different segments or so. First one's just gonna be photography, and a lot of storytelling and commentary over the photography. That's the stuff you see here before you, what you see, what you get. It's all this kind of media assets. In fact, some of these are not really photographs, but more like scanned images of products that I've basically I'm going to use, and so I've tried to get down the electronic documents. I also got some bandages here you can see and stuff like that, so some safety equipment as well as some food that I binge ate on, and so that's a health issue. Alright, so that's the photography session. That's going to be taking up at least, the first 7 to 8 minutes. It's going to be a while. And then after that, we're going to move on to some quotes. So we're going to start showing things in high detail. And just like you saw on these media assets, there's actually some of these that are not photographs. So media assets in terms of like quotes from Stoic Reflections, a channel. Right here you can see a face of Aurelius on the side here. Says, very little needed to make a happy life. So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be the fourth segment. After that, you can see the room in the backdrop, my hands right here. So that's region D1, and we won't get back to region A7 and A8, which is still a mess today, surprisingly. And that's because I didn't have enough time yesterday to rummage through everything. There's some new developments. Income taxes are still here. We have some garbage. We want to open up the packaging, be able to throw this away. Talk a little bit about some stuff I'm going to give to my brother. Even a button that's really come undone from my workplace uniform, which is like a military uniform in a sense. Very makeshift though. We off to the side. This would be the fifth. After that, we sit back down here. That's for the sixth segment, and we just talk about relationships, about abstract things, about workplace affairs and stuff that didn't pan out so well, or what's been going down. I think the title really says it all. That's about in the sixth segment. So fuck, it's just been a really messy couple of days. And what we want to do after that is to bleed nicely into that abstract segment, into the digital portion here that has to do with a little bit of fitness. So just measurements and tracking my health, my diet, the health issues I'm having right now, and how I'm not managing to take care of them physically or mentally or emotionally very well. And then finally, we'll probably answer any questions at the 8th segment. If you have any comments, you can leave it on the bottom, and I'll get back to you. Doesn't have to be serious. It can be some memes or whatever. You can feel free. And then after that, it's take a message. So that's what we have planned in store for today. 3 things before we get started. First one, of course, I have to be real, raw, and genuine. It means that I'm trying to be real, raw, and so I have to cut the good, the bad, and the ugly, because this is, by analogy, the Ahn Rho Project is a time capsule of my life, in a sense. That's one analogy. One part of it is for that purpose, and so I have to be honest. The second thing is, I also use this as a high utility stream. I have a lot of stuff to get through, then I have to run through that kind of stuff. In terms of beneficial, there has to be some sort of progress made when I do these streams. Otherwise, there's not much reason to do it. Right now, it's not much benefit to anybody else. I don't presume. And then after, the third thing is something new. It's kind of like I want to try to turn this into more game like setting sort of way, to be able to properly manage life itself as a comprehensive game. So that's another analogy for the record. With that being said, I forgot to mention one more thing. There's so much to cover, really. It's an audio recording and an envisioning within that recording with a colleague. So that's what I'm going to talk about in number 6. All right, in the 6th segment. Okay, so let's start with the photographs. That's a lot of introductory stuff. I gotta find a way to whittle it down. So let's take a look here. This is the burst snapshot. You can see up here at the very top, there's this collage of everything all together, and then the screenshot, the title of the live stream. So what you see here at the very top is some soup, with soup with fish balls and mussels. Not mussels, mussels in like the seashells. She sells seashells by the seashore kind of thing. And that's a class 2 item. I'm not supposed to eat it, but I did. I drank that kind of soup yesterday. It's a class 2 item, dead food. My bad, my fault. Then we have the bandages on the side with alcohol wipes. You can see that, sorry. Basically, I got that from my workplace because I cut myself. Once again, all sorts of cuts and scrapes and bruises and shit like that whenever I go to work. Because I am, kind of like the bottleneck in on production. Then we have the very bottom here. We're moving on to the scan products. You can see I really tried to electronically scan everything, and I'll show you that in a second, after maybe the 5th segment. Basically, the products here, I scanned the instructions, the safety, the directions for the Colgate, for the toothpaste, also, so health related stuff. And okay, we can get rid of that, but we'll cover the philosophical stuff later. So more products again here, the bandages, the soup, right? And then you can see the Colgate once again with expiry date and stuff like that, instructions. So I can toss away the products and still maintain the description and how to use the product themselves. And once I do this and electronically copy and upload this onto my drive and my laptop and cloud or whatever, it's backed up, and I can just sort of retrieve the instructions off the bat, and I don't have to keep a physical copy. I can just toss it all into recycling and the trash. We also have, also the packaging for the wireless LED light. That's something from the dollar store that changes color, right? Like some really intense instructions here, which we'll show in a second. And then we have also some clothing tags here. The shin guard tags. So how to wash the shin guards. I'm not actually going to ever wash the shin guards, I don't think. But that's that. So I think that's everything in terms of these two. And so what I would like to do is pull up for a second here the next one. So you can see, again, more of the shin guards. This is a quick summary, actually. And the miter, you can see the miter shin guard, the brand itself. Wow. Okay. Is that everything? That can't be everything, right? Oh, there we go. Yeah, the shin guards and the washing instructions. We also have, of course, at the very bottom, more Colgate for sensitive teeth, and so on and so forth. And that's about it. So, in terms of the scanning, that just refers to stuff here. So we'll get to that in section 5. Segment 5. All right. So let's move on to the philosophical aspects. So here are the things that I was showcasing very briefly from Stoic Reflections. And again, no copyright things. I just want to say very briefly, obviously, this is none of my stuff. This is, go to Instagram and then go to Stoic Reflections, all right? It's one of the very few channels I actually follow, all right? Basically, so for today, yesterday, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking. And, you can agree with that, you can disagree, but I would say somewhere in the middle. You gotta take it tentatively because, sometimes there are things outside your control that really do matter. But even so, it's still a very powerful psychological hack, and it's a very good mindset to adopt, and helps you push forward in life. So, from Marcus Aurelius and stuff like that. So, you can try that out there. Now, here's a product actually that I want to showcase from Stoic Reflections called the Memento Mori. And again, shout out to them. Not my stuff, right? This is just for educational and reviewing purposes. And actually, I wanted to share an idea here. Basically, I was shocked to see this because I have been trying to do the same thing with my own Excel database. Now, I'm not going to detail that, but basically the point is I try to divide my life into weeks so that I can cover the entire span of my life, so to speak, up till, say, I die at the age of 85. I may die sooner, I may die later, but that's a good estimate. And it turns out that Stoic Reflections and their product here, the Memento Mori calendar, every dot represents a week. They've essentially done the same thing that I'm basically trying to do. Obviously, they have a polished product here and it looks very functional. I'm just creating something off of a spreadsheet on Excel and trying to do that. But the point is that really impressed me because I was like, shit. Obviously someone's done what I'm trying to do before, but I never thought that I'd actually see it here. So great stuff. Okay. Now let's move on to more digital stuff, right? We also have this kind of video here. It says, we showed you only 9 minutes of this young man's daily activity for 24 hours of his life. and which he will probably watch for the rest of his life, and you will complain you ran out of patience and stuff like that. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to play it because I don't know what's in it. But basically, it's probably something to do with gratitude, because one of my godmothers, basically I met at the hospital, she's like a godmother to me, has really sent me something to do with gratitude, and she knows I'm having a difficult time right now, and so is she, to be honest. So let's rummage through all the photographs and the scanned items. So here's the Colgate toothpaste on the side with instructions, and here's the washing instructions for that miter shin guard that you see on the left. 1, 2, 3. We have the remote function instructions for that color changing pulsating light, wireless LED light, sorry. And here's the Colgate 3-value pack on all sorts of faces, and plus the shin guard again. And we have here the food, right? Here's, you can see the fishball soup with mussels and seafood and all that kind of jazz. And wait, hold on, one more thing, and that's a bowl of it. And here's the bandages that cut myself up, and that's that. Okay, let's move on now. We got about 3 minutes left. That took way too long. So let's get up here for a second. So this region, you gotta move around a little bit. This region A5, A7, A8. So we see it's still a big mess. So we're continuing off from where we left off yesterday. I had this stuff cut up. Right, I finally took out the wireless LED light. You can see there's all this packaging here that I scanned, and I want to throw this away. So I'm gonna take this over here to region D1 and put it inside the bag. It's going to work. That's workplace related shit. And oh, I just realized that the music's off for a second. Hold on. God, there we go. So back on track here. We have the products here, and now I'm just going to have to, when I'm off camera, I'm going to try to make use of it and try using. So here's the light. Here's the remote control. We're going to test out tomorrow morning this product. We have to pull out the slip here. There's a little tag to stick it to the wall. And here are the AAA batteries that were provided. So that's the 4 things that came from that. This is a one-touch Seagate portable drive, 2 terabytes. I want to pass this to my brother for use. It's still mine, but I'm just going to let him use it. He's asked for it because he's doing his own live streaming thing. And so I'm just going to let him use this. Since I have one for 5 terabytes, I'll let him use this one until he purchases his own, probably over next year, Cyber Monday, whatever. Next, so this stuff's gonna go. I'm gonna give this to his room. This stuff here, I'm gonna keep it here because I need to test it out. Now, I don't know if I need to keep the scissors here, but the point is, one of my buttons fell off from my workplace suit attire, so I have to keep the button here, and maybe I'll just sew it on myself. The supplements here need to go to workplace. It's a big mess here. Now we have these 2 cases here. I want to keep only one of them, so I'm gonna toss maybe this one here inside the bag also for recycling. Same thing with here in region B1. So both of these things here are recyclables. Toss it in there and get rid of it alongside with all the trash inside as well. Now, and then that one will save for the bagel. Put a bagel inside, and that'll be my dinner for tomorrow. Here's some stuff that I just ate upstairs. That's the oatmeal, some trash, and last but not least, okay, this bottle's empty now. I can take this and put it up there as a sample, or throw this away as a recyclable. I don't know, maybe it's a recyclable. I have enough samples of Biomega. And then the last thing here, we have this piece of paper here, income tax return. So I finally printed out a T whatever, and then from my accountant, and finally it's time for me to sign it and send it back to him so he can file it. Obviously, I don't have to pay any money, so it's fine. Actually, the government's going to refund me with some money. 2 more things I have to mention on the side here. These 2 shelves here, top right hand side, that's where the portable drive was. So this drive, 2 terabytes, I'm giving to my brother, lending to my brother, is from here, so I can close this now just to remind myself. And bottom here, most important, I took out my health card, so public health card, from my wallet inside there, and I gave it over to one of my guardians because he's been trying to desperately get me to get a vaccine from Pfizer. And so that's that. So region A1, like A3 to A5. Shit, I only got 10 seconds. It's fine, whatever. I gotta end the live stream, guys. We'll continue this tomorrow morning. Ciao.